he gave her and her friend 2 chariots with circus horses. And I mean, these circus horses were costumed.
These are like the old deck, like the super decked out
eye-catching ones. And then her and her friend raced the chariots down a main street until they crashed into a telephone pole, broke the chariots, a wheel came off. So they would just create these like big moments, these big escapades to stay in the news.
What up? What up? Welcome to episode 2 of the Mile High Club podcast.
We're back.
We are back. Today we have a pretty chill episode for you here.
Just hanging out, gonna chit chat. But we have some fun stuff to talk about.
We do. Maddie is a little prude baby, so.
Yeah. So listen, Tori's gonna talk to us about some crazy sex toys she found. And me being the nerd I am, I have some sexy Colorado history to share.
Yeah. And then the main focus is we both took a BDSM test.
Yes.
Which tells you about what kind of kinks you are. We haven't seen each other's results.
Yes. But I feel like we can guess, seeing as the segment you chose was sex toys and I chose history, we're probably on opposite sides of the BDSM
I would
spectrum.
guess. But yeah, we haven't seen each other's results yet.
But it's going to be fun. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good, especially after your hilarious but maybe kind of sad story about your t-shirt or what reminded you.
Yeah, it's one of my lamest sex stories ever that I haven't thought about in years, but I'm wearing a Led Zeppelin t-shirt today. And putting this on, it reminded me of a Led Zeppelin-inspired sex story, which is not as cool as it sounds.
It's actually sad.
Yeah. It shows you how lame I am. Okay, so back in the day, I was living in California. I was working as a stripper. I was 19. A little bit of context, I lost my virginity at 19 and started stripping at 19. So I kind of like had sex for the first time. And I want to say went full in, but at the time the story took place, I had sex with maybe 3 people. So I was very new to the scene.
Very new.
But also stripping. So anyway, so the club I worked at was mostly a lot of kind of like older men. And one night this younger guy came in. He was super cute. He had moved to LA from Nashville because he had dreams of being a singer-songwriter, had blonde curly hair, was like kind of dreamy. Anyway, so we started talking and he said, "Do you want to go to San Diego with me this weekend?" And, you know, that's kind of like, I definitely should
not. That's kind of a far drive.
Yeah, it is. It's like a 4-hour drive from LA.
From a guy you met
an hour ago
when you
in
were
a strip
working
club.
at the strip club.
Not red flags all around.
Yeah.
But of course, me being young and dumb, I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go.
Yeah.
So we start driving to San Diego, and honestly, he kind of sucks. He's kind of boring. He's kind of lame. And he keeps referring to me like, I can't believe I'm hanging out with a stripper. I can't believe I'm having lunch with a stripper. Like, I'm a novelty, you know? I'm like, bro, come on. Like, what the hell? And so, you know, we get down to San Diego and I'm kind of having a terrible time, but I'm like in fucking San Diego now. I can't get back to Torrance. I'm like, I'm kind of stuck with this guy, right? And so, you know, we're in the hotel room that night and I'm like, I don't want to have sex with this dude. Like, whatever, not feeling him, you know?
Yeah.
And then he goes over and he turns on Led Zeppelin. And this is very much, I love Led Zeppelin, but I was very much in my like classic rock era at the time. So I was very into it. And so Led Zeppelin comes on and it changes my whole perspective. I'm like, well, I don't know.
You're like 19 and you're like, oh my God, he's got good taste in music.
Exactly. And I'm like, it'd be kind of hot to have sex to Led Zeppelin. Like, this could be fun. It could be an experience, like feeling sexy, listening to Led Zeppelin. So we have sex. And then after we're laying there and he goes, oh my God, I can't believe it worked. My friend was right. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he was like, my friend told me if you turn on Led Zeppelin, women will have sex with you.
Which, by the way, is not true, but maybe true in this
True
case.
if you're lame. And that's why I said this is my lamest sex story ever. I felt so stupid that I fell into such a cliche bro trap where I'm like, literally all it took was Led Zeppelin. And I was like, yeah, whatever. I'll fuck this dude. Like, pretty fucking lame. Okay. And then he called me out on it too. And I was like, yeah, that was kind of fucking lame of me.
Yeah. Well, okay. At least you were 19.
Yeah.
I have a lamer story. And I think I was a bit older. I think maybe I was like 22 or 23. I went to college in Fort Collins at CSU, and they have like this Tour de Fat event. And I had met this guy. I think his name was Andrew. It just popped in my head. And anyways, he was really cute. He's a little bit older, and he invited me over to his house for dinner. And I show up, and he's like straight from the gym with like bags of groceries,
sweaty, and
and like,
but not in a hot way.
Yeah, like well, he's like not ready to go. He has groceries, like, because he was like, oh, I'm gonna cook you dinner. And he goes, I'm going to go shower. Can you put my groceries away?
No.
Which, first of all, I don't even know where anything goes. You know what I mean?
God.
and guess the worst part is, while he went and showered, I fucking stayed and I put his groceries away. And I still had sex with him.
God damn.
The baby children mistakes we made.
The stupid things we make to get laid. We're like, yeah, sure. But God. Well, hopefully everyone listening has better sex stories than that, and we want to hear them.
Yes, so we want to hear them. So we have a submission form on our website, mhcpod.com, which is for Mile High Podcast Club. And we want you to submit them. So you just go on the website, mhc.com or mhcpod.com.
mhcpod.com.
Yes. And submit us your crazy questions, something you always want to ask but never knew. Stories,
guilty pleasures,
worst one night stands,
deep dark secrets.
Yeah.
Tell it to us. We want to talk about it. We'll keep you anonymous. We won't put you on blast.
Yeah. You can make up a fake name.
Yeah, but hopefully your stories are better than our 2 lame ones because, ouch, God.
It's so sad. Okay,
anyways.
Well, I am ready to show you this toy.
I can't. I'm a little scared. Tori, she shows me sex toys I didn't even know could exist.
And I need to cheers you for this.
Gonna have a little sip.
Yeah.
Drinking some seltzer.
Again,
Gotta get a little buzz.
Especially for this. Okay. Maddie has never seen this sex toy before. Okay. And the reason I brought this up is because I kind of mentioned it last podcast. So I want to see what you think. I'm going to have Maddie describe it and say what she thinks it does.
So honestly, my first impression is it kind of looks like a Sour Patch Kid in terms of like, it's a gradient color. It looks kind of crystallized. It kind of looks like a Sour Patch Kid, except it's huge. It's shown next to a soda pop can, and I would say it's maybe like 2 cans tall.
Yeah. Pretty
thick. And then I see, are these eggs? What? Okay, First of all, what is this? What is this called?
Okay, this is Naga the Dragon Ovipositor. Ovipositor.
Oh my God.
Kind of like a depositor. Maybe does that give you a hint about what it does?
I think, but so it's like a long dildo essentially, but it doesn't really look like a dildo. It's like it has a hole in the top.
It's completely hollow.
And it's like skinnier at the top, and then it kind of bulges, and it's kind of like veiny, but in like a mythical sense.
Yes.
And then there's eggs that look kind of like
dildo.
Lava eggs. A dragon dildo.
So this is what someone imagined a dragon penis would look like.
Oh my God. I mean, not far off.
It's not 1, 2, but 3 depositable eggs.
Okay, so tell me about the eggs.
Okay, so the eggs and let me use it in their own words. So first of all, this is Naga the Dragon is looking for a host for its clutch of dragon eggs.
Okay.
This listing comes with an ovipositor and a set of dragon eggs and is sure to fill all your egg-laying desires.
Okay.
The recommended use is use plenty of lube.
Nice.
Load the eggs into the base and slowly work them towards the top. So essentially you're putting the eggs in the hollow part and you're putting it in someone's, vaginal or anal cavity, putting it up, and then you're squishing out the eggs. You're depositing
off the dragon dick to squeeze out the eggs.
Yeah, and then you deposit them and then they can squeeze them out.
Okay, do they like hatch inside of you?
No. They're just, it's like kind of just like a dildo itself. They're just eggs. However, it is compatible. This ovipositor is compatible with dragon eggs, alien eggs, magic eggs, and robin eggs. So
variety. You can choose your own.
Yeah. So this is from fantasticcocks.com. It's $89. And
how big are these eggs? Like, can you fit all 3 inside?
Yeah, so they're about like the size of a regular egg. So about 2 inches tall and like a half an inch in diameter. Okay. I think you could fit. I haven't personally tried it. This has not been one of my kinks, but
how do you get them out? You just have to like reach in and
Kegels, girl.
Okay. All right.
You push that out.
Okay. All right. Well, you learn something new.
Wait, and last thing, like you said, it looked like a Sour Patch Kid.
Yeah.
These things can be customized with 2 colors and like 2 styles, and they have like 50 different colors. So you can make whatever kind of dragon dildo with eggs or robin eggs or magic eggs that you want.
Whatever your style, they have a color, a shimmer, a fluorescent. I see.
Yeah. Oh, so there's a lot of options.
Have you tried this?
No.
Would you?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure you would.
Yeah, I would. I'd have someone else buy it though.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would spend $90. There's better sex toys for $90, but
then like
for me personally.
Some eggs.
But if it turns someone on, I would do it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a time for it.
Yeah.
Who knows? Try something.
Someone
new.
who wants to fill all your egg-laying desires.
Yeah, I don't think I have any egg-laying desires, but
because you lay them afterwards.
Okay. I would try it. I would try it too.
Yeah, why not?
All right. So what is it called one more time? The Naga?
Okay, Naga the Dragon Ovipositor with eggs.
Nice.
And I think Avi is for ovulation.
Eggs. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
so that was my sex topic, and Maddie, in her true form, wanted to talk about some sexy history.
Listen, I'm a huge nerd. I love history, especially Colorado history. But really, I wanted a chance. This history segment is sponsored by our mascot here, Miss Powers.
This is Miss Powers.
So we have a vase on the table where we record. It's a butt, a bootylicious butt. That's all it is. It's
that
a vase
holds
with flowers. And we've named her Miss Powers.
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about Laura Evans, who was one of the most infamous sex workers in Colorado.
And you might be thinking, Laura Evans, how does Miss Powers come into that?
Yes.
But here's how it comes into that. This badass bitch, she was around in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Mm-hmm. She had a dog. Maddie will tell you about her more. But she had a dog named Mr. Pimp Powers.
A little chihuahua.
So we have renamed our vase Miss Powers in honor of this.
Because Miss Powers is honestly a cooler name than Laura.
Yes.
No offense to Laura's. We love Laura's.
We love Laura's.
But Miss Powers, what a name.
I know.
Okay, so let's talk about Laura Evans, because she's a boss bitch.
Yeah.
Not related to the other Evans family with Mount Evans. They get confused, but totally separate. So
Mount Evans is a mountain in Colorado.
Yes. So she was born in 1871 in the South and then moved to Colorado about the time she was 25. Mm-hmm. And so she started in Denver. So Denver used to have a red light district on Market Street. It was called the Row.
So it's just as cool as it is now.
Yeah, just as cool as it is now. Like, Lodo is still a hopping spot. And you have to understand that, like, Colorado was the Wild West at this point. Yeah. Like, no rules. We weren't even a state yet. Yeah, like, things were happening. So the Row at the time was described, and I quote, most lively in any and all kinds of wickedness. It had brothels, it had dance halls, it was a place to go have fun. So this is
like a mini Amsterdam.
Exactly, yeah. And this is where she got her start. It was called a parlor house, the brothels. And the reason why girls would work here, you could earn $30 to $100 an evening. Granted, you'd have to pay 50% to the house, but still, that's about $900 to $3,000 in today's money in a single night.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I was thinking even when I was serving in high school, like making over $100
was a good, yeah.
Well, I worked at Village Inn, a breakfast place, but I was like, oh, hell yeah, over 100. Sure. Yeah.
And even to put it in comparison, so respectable work for women at the time, being a clerk, a seamstress, a laundress, a servant, made $1 a week compared to $900 a night. Yeah. It's like they were making some money.
Yeah.
So she started in Denver, and then eventually she moved to Leadville, and then she really made her name in Salida, Colorado. So the way that she kept her reputation, she was known from coast to coast because she was all about having her name in the news so that she had a reputation and people would want to come see.
No news is bad news.
Exactly, right? Exactly. So one of the things that she did, one time a circus was in town, so she traded a circus performer a bucket of beer in order to borrow one of the chariots from the circus.
No way.
He gave her and her friend 2 chariots with circus horses. And I mean, these circus horses were costumed.
These are like the old deck. Like the super decked out
eye-catching
ones.
And then her and her friend raced the chariots down a main street until they crashed into a telephone pole, broke the chariots, a wheel came off. So they would just create these like big moments, these big escapades to stay in the news, which was, I just think, hilarious. Like,
I love Laura.
That's marketing right there. Yeah. And so what's cool is not only
marketing before.
Yeah, exactly.
She's in the newspapers.
Exactly. Yeah. She was known as, having a foul mouth. She loved to gamble. She was very outspoken, which is really crazy this is the Victorian era where it's very proper. And she rolled her own cigarettes. All the pictures I've seen of her, she's rolling cigarettes.
And she had a dog named Mr. Pimp Powers.
But what's cool is, aside from her brothel work as a sex worker, she was known to have a, quote, heart of butter. I guess that was the saying at the time.
Not a heart of gold, a heart of butter.
She was known for her generous acts. So she provided milk, coal, and groceries to families who were out of work and even paid for a student's college education. During the flu pandemic of 1918, she sent her parlor girls out into the homes of the community to care for sick people, which I think is really cool. And also her women were always outfitted in the prettiest silks, boarded in the plushest rooms. They wore garters with embellished $10 gold pieces that locked with thighs around their chain. Doesn't that sound hot?
Okay, and I saw some pictures because, remind me again where you got this information.
Oh, yeah. So I need to shout out. So I first learned about this from Colorado Women's History. They have a great Instagram page. Yeah. A lot of this also comes from History Colorado and the Salida Herald. These are all a bunch of resources where I read who did a bunch of great research that I took this from.
And we'll link all these in the show notes, but you have to check out these pictures. There are these beautiful ordained canopy beds with like velvety, silky. Like, this is a high class, high end brothel
and
establishment.
To wear a garter with an embellished $10 gold piece that had a lock around their thigh. I mean, that tells you that's an expensive piece of money.
$10. I mean, when most were making a week,
yeah,
you said. So they're just wearing $10 on
and
there.
with a chain, I'm like, a chain garter? That sounds super hot. So she was a badass. So her parlor house, her brothel, was one of the last surviving Wild West brothels and remained open until 1950 when Laura was 79 years old. She ended up
boss ass
dying
bitch
3 years later at the age of 82, but left a badass legacy of women in the Wild West. I love her story. She sounds so cool.
And we should say that it is believed that Mr. Pimp Powers was named after
Lillian Powers, who was also a famed madam in the red light district off Market Street. Yeah, so I love that she also was she looked up to other women in the industry, named her dog after Lillian Powers. I love that. She seems like so much fun to hang out with too.
I know. Well, and so now you know our mascot, Miss Powers, and her origin story, and Maddie's nerdy
a little bit of Colorado history.
Yeah,
but
just
cool.
sexy history.
Yeah, sexy history. More of that.
I mean, it is fascinating. And I didn't even know we had a red light district until you told me about it.
Yeah, Denver is a lot sexier and milder than people think.
It is.
There's a fun history
behind
it.
Wild West.
Exactly. Wild, Wild West, baby.
Okay, so now let's get to the nitty gritty.
Yes.
The BDSM test we took.
Yes.
So this test, how I found it, so similar to dating apps like Bumble and Tinder, there are sex dating apps that are focused on like more of a hookup or maybe non-monogamous.
What are a few of them called?
Like Field is one, nice. Pure is another one, nice. And they're really awesome. I'm on a few of them, and I really like it. It allows people to explore non-monogamy. There's couples, there's single people, but it's just like a dating app, but a relationship is not really in the picture, which for someone like me, that's really not in my cards right now, so it's a great place to go. But what I noticed is similar to these dating apps like Bumble, they do the Myers-Briggs. Have you seen those?
Like the personality test.
Yeah. So Myers-Briggs, and I think the free one is called 16 Personalities. Nice. But it tells you like INFP, and it tells you all this stuff about your relationship.
If you're an extrovert or an introvert, that's the personality test. So essentially this test is like seeing if you have similar kinks or similar vibes, if you're going to mesh well sexually, which is a great idea.
And even on the results, it says like, share this on your profile.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
So I had Maddie take it with me. So we each took it. We took the short version. There is a short and long version. It is at, I think I said it already, but I'll say it again, bdsmtest.org. And we took the short version, which was still like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it took some time. And what's funny is after I took it, I went to my boyfriend, Mike, and I was like, well, my test results were exactly as I expected. And his response was, oh, what? So 30% slutty? And the hilarious part is that it really was. I scored like a 75% vanilla. So it really was about 30% slutty.
Which, by the way, 25%. We have not seen each other's results, and that is hilarious.
You
are like 30%. Yes.
But I have some thoughts. I feel like I was maybe... it's not exactly accurate, and I'll tell you some of my thoughts behind it.
Okay, yeah, because we haven't discussed this yet. Yeah. I've been dying to talk to you about it.
So first, you have to choose an age group.
Yes.
I am 30. I'm turning 31 in 3 weeks, but I chose the 26 to 30 age group because I feel like I should just hang on to my youth while I have it. You know?
I mean, it's almost gone.
I'm like, I have 3 more weeks to be in the 26 to 30 age group. I'm staying. So, but after my results, I'm like, I'm definitely well into my 30s with my preferences and my comfort levels.
So basically how the quiz is set up is there's just a bunch of questions. Mm-hmm. And what I thought was just one interesting part, obviously it goes from like red to green. And
as in like neutral, rather disagree.
Yeah. But what I love is that they did rather disagree and rather agree. Like I think I'd rather that. Yeah.
It's very proper for like a BDSM test.
And then instead of being like completely agree, they said absolutely agree. Yeah. I just thought it was funny how they had the rating.
For sure.
So it was probably 100-ish questions. Yeah. And then we both took it. But what's cool is this is a BDSM like focused test.
Yes.
But what it was nice because I think it lets you know about kinks that are non-BDSM related.
Yeah.
However, the breadth of questions
they were
so far.
And I feel like that was part of my vanilla rating. I chose neutral in a lot because it was my first time reading things and I'm like, maybe? I don't know. It's not something I'm like actively into. But maybe.
I could be open to it.
Yeah, possibly.
Well, so here's the types of questions. I had to put a few down here because they were so great. So it will go from everything. I have 5 of them here. in increasing order of intensity.
Yes.
So one is, I would like to have sex with multiple people at the same time. You know, it's pretty normal.
I agree,
thing.
for sure.
Next one, I would like to be sexually submissive now and sexually dominant another time, either to the same or another partner. So that's, you know,
like a switch. Yeah.
Then it goes to living with a group of slaves owned by me and serving me would be my ultimate life goal.
Ultimate life goal is strong wording.
And that, I mean, that one sounds pretty cush, right? Because you have a group of slaves you own.
Yes.
And then the last one is I would be willing to leave everything I have behind to leave the BDSM life of my dreams.
Intense question. Yeah. Leave everything behind.
I know, everything. And by the way, this is only a selection of the hundreds of questions, but just to kind of show you the range of questions that we answered for this quiz.
So you collected our top 10 results.
I did.
Let's share those.
Okay. So I'm going to share Maddie's first, and then you can share mine.
Okay, fair.
So we did top 10. So Maddie's number 1. She's 95% exhibitionist, 84% switch, 76 vanilla, 75 brat, 75 voyeur, 70% submissive. Then we go degradee, rope bunny, experimentalist, and then last is 61% non-monogamous.
Yes.
So let's talk about your results real quick.
Okay.
I'm not surprised at the 76% vanilla, and this is what she was referencing.
Well, let's start. Okay, 94% exhibitionist.
I think that's correct.
I mean, I do nude modeling, so I take my clothes off in front of rooms full of strangers all the time.
And this is for figure modeling, so these are artists drawing.
Yeah, exactly. But also in terms of sex, I love having sex in front of windows. I think it would be hot to have sex in a room full of people. Yep. I would love to have someone watch me, like literally just sit on a couch and watch me, you know, have sex. That's hot. So that checked. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And you were a stripper.
Yeah, and I was a stripper. Yeah.
And you do boudoir photography.
And now I have a podcast. I'm like, give me attention. Yeah. Look at me. Okay. So that makes sense.
I thought that was 100% spot on.
The switch part. Okay. So this is the thing. I think definitely I am more submissive, but the feminist in me was really coming out in some of these.
Yes.
Where it was like, do you want the man to be your superior in every way? And I was like, ew, no. Yeah. Like he can boss me around, but to call him my superior, no.
Yeah. I would disagree with that one. I don't think you are a switch, but I kind of like you said, and you did neutral on a lot of them, which I think if you choose neutral, it puts you as switch because you don't align one way or the other.
For sure. And the vanilla checks out, but again, I feel like, okay, so one of the questions was, would you want to be for 24 hours, have nonstop sex, basically be like a 24-hour sex slave where your only purpose. Yeah. And for me, I was like, 24 hours is a long time. my pussy is gonna chafe, first of all. Okay. I got shit to do. And it's like, and I was even thinking
running your own business. I know that was
busy, bitch. I'm busy. Yeah. And then even in terms, I'm like, okay, it's hot to like have someone come all over you, but what if like they don't clean you and then you're sticky all day? That sounds uncomfortable.
I know. It's the practicality of
That's what I'm thinking.
Well, too, and I'm like, there was, I think, a similar question, or maybe the same one where it was like, you would want to perform daily ritual routines for someone. I'm like, I barely take my makeup off at the end of the day.
Daily, sex or no.
I don't need another routine. Like I'm holding on right now.
We're gonna
if I take my makeup off at the end of the night, and drink some water, then like I'm doing those.
And then it's like being tied up sounds hot, but then there's some of like you literally can't get out of it. There's no, and I would be down for that in theory, but I'm like, listen, I can't even like sleep on my right side because I have a bad shoulder. I've had 4 knee surgeries. I can't be on my knees for too long, so I'm like, we got to think about my joint health here, okay? Like I can't be locking up and not be, so I'm like, I could be tied up, but like we gotta think about it.
I need some flexibility in that arrangement, so I don't want to be
oh listen, my God, so funny. I'm a creature of comfort. I want to be cozy. I want to be snug. Okay, like whip me around a little bit, but then at the end of the day, like I need a fuzzy blanket. Okay,
that's called aftercare.
Yeah, exactly. Which important.
But wait, hold on. I have one thing to say. Yes. So you'll see in a sec. I actually do like to be restrained a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
I'll tell you one of my favorite pieces of sex toys I have, or whatever you call it, is restraints with, I think we actually have a picture of it too, with my hand next to my ankles.
Yes.
And that shit is Velcro.
See, that's what I'm saying. And it's like, I know BDSM consent is essential, and like being with someone you trust is essential, but I'm like, I would like to be tied up in a situation like Velcro for my own anxiety to be like, I can get out.
What if you have to pee too? Exactly. I've had to do that before. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Or what if, I guess if they like it, you can just pee on
or
them,
what if something crazy happens and they like pass out or someone breaks in the room? I mean, I know that's worst case scenario. scenario, but that's how my anxiety brain works.
Hold on. Do you know there is a movie about this?
No.
Oh, I can't. We'll find the name, put it in the show notes. There's a woman. She's with her husband.
Yes.
And they're in a cabin in the mountains, and she gets tied up on the bed.
Yeah.
And he has a heart attack and dies.
Oh my God.
And she's locked in there, and like wolves come in.
Oh my God. See that?
I shouldn't have told you this.
This is my nightmare.
I will have to find this movie and show you the preview. And she's a beautiful woman. What was that Netflix show? The horror one with the haunted Hill House.
The Haunting of Hill House.
The Haunting of Hill House. The mom in that with the brown
hair. Love
hair.
her.
Okay,
yes.
She's the one who plays the girl who's tied up on the bed.
Okay, see, this is my nightmare. So I'm like, in theory, I can role play and be like,
told you about this.
Oh no, I can't get out. I'm tied up. But in real reality, I need to be able to get out.
Yeah.
Because what if wolves come and eat me in a cabin?
I know it. Like it literally was. When you said that, I thought of this movie, which I never saw. I just saw the previews for. But yeah, so my favorite toy is my restraints with Velcro.
Yeah. Which, by the way, when we were taking photos, you're like, "Can I wear my Crocs with?"
Oh yeah, okay. We'll have to show some of those too.
They were fun.
They were super fun.
But so the rest of it, experimentalist, non-monogamous, all of these check out. But I feel like that's why some of my BDSM things, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then there are some about like
rope bunny. I wouldn't necessarily call you rope bunny because that's someone who likes to be tied up a lot. And like we just said, there's a lot of logistical things with that.
Yeah, for sure.
So maybe we're Velcro rope bunnies.
And I'm down with like some role playing in terms of like, oh, I'm innocent and I'm a virgin, but then it's like, do you get turned on seeing someone color in a coloring book? And I was like,
that's age play. So we both rated. So that's what it was cool about this test, is even though it is BDSM, it talked about like age play, because a lot of people, and it even asked if like you enjoy age gaps,
for sure,
like real age gaps or fake age gaps.
And I think it was like the specificity, because I'm not like kink shaming against age play. Like I think it's a safe place to explore it between adults, but I think it was just this like the actual example where I was like, that's not for me.
I know. Yeah. And I'm curious what like the longer test looks like.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely learned a lot about myself. So
I think funny. A lot of those were not spot on for you.
Yeah.
I said not spot on, but I meant
spot on. Yeah. Where it's like, I really was like, I'm not, but the 75% vanilla, that checks out for me.
Yeah.
And Mike calling it right away. 30% slutty. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so shall we go into mine? I think mine's pretty much...
Yours makes sense in a lot of ways. Okay, so you were 100% switch, which makes sense. You're up for anything.
Yeah, and I have been dominant and submissive in multiple relationships.
And then 96% experimentalist.
Which means out. Like you literally...
You're up for anything.
I'm down to try anything one time.
Like dragon eggs up your pussy. 92% non-monogamous, 79% submissive, 73 voyeur, 71 dominant, 65 rope bunny.
That I thought was interesting. Like the 79% submissive and 71% dominant. I would say that's true. Like I would slightly prefer being more submissive, but they're kind of both. Yeah. And that's why you get the 100% switch.
59% masochist, 58% brat, 58% exhibitionist, which honestly I feel is kind of low for you. Are you shy?
Well, no, I'm not shy at all, but I think it was like, it's not a kink of mine to go have sex in public. Yeah. So like, that's kind of more what an exhibitionist is, or not necessarily in public or have people watching. Like, I would do it, but it's not a personal kink for me. Top of your list. But like my big thing is like, if it turns you on, it turns me on. Yeah. So like if someone was really into it, I'd be like, that's the experimental in me where I'd be like, sure, let's do it. But it's not like something I actively seek out.
And I feel like going back to the switch, that is really true for you, that you can be dominant, because I know that you've pegged dudes. I know that you've done. It's like
my dildo collection is not for women. It has been for men.
That is true.
Or it's not for me.
Love that. Love it. Where for me, I like to be dominant, but I think people just kind of giggle like, oh, that's cute.
I know that is cute.
Where like for you can be mean.
Yeah.
And abusive. You abused me my whole life growing up. So.
I mean, I was the older sister and we're both middle children. Yeah. She's just the younger middle child.
She has some rage inside her. So I can see that being a healthy avenue.
And it's kind of fun. Like, that was the hard thing for me to answer too, because I like being dominant, but I don't like the humiliation part. Yeah. Like in past relationships, I've bossed people around in bed, like told them what to do, but never really like in it wasn't a degrading way. Yeah. It was just kind of being bossy.
Yeah, for sure.
And so that's why it was hard for me to answer like extreme on some of them, because I'm like, yeah, I do like being bossy, but like I don't want to like
Yeah.
And I know some people are into humiliation. For sure. No shame at all. I don't like to go that far personally.
For sure. Yeah, I'm the same because I like a little bit of degrading of being like, oh, you little dirty slut. Like that kind of stuff. But one of the questions was like, do you get turned on seeing the fear in your partner's eyes? And I'm like, I would cry. I remember. Oh my God, are you okay?
Are you all right?
Are you mad at me?
Let me take your pulse.
Yeah. So,
but to each their own. But that is, I think it was just a fun, interesting test to take, and especially with your partner because you took it with Mike too.
Yeah, and what's funny is for me, I was taking it at home. I was like kind of blushing, and then I was like, Mike, you should take this. And we were like grocery shopping for produce, and he's taking it, which I feel like shows the exact ends of the spectrum that he's like shopping
like
for
at
bananas. I'm like shy, and this is like
okay. This is someone I have to tell one story about Maddie, so you understand how shy she is.
Yes.
Do you know what story it's gonna be?
I'm afraid.
Okay, so our parents bought us the Shrek CD soundtrack as kids.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
A CD, and Maddie used to play it in her room.
So on the Shrek soundtrack, I love the Joan Jett song, I don't give a damn about my reputation. But she says damn, and we weren't supposed to listen to music with cuss words in it. So I would sit by my stereo, and when she would say damn.
By the way, our parents got us for this.
They bought and it's on the Shrek soundtrack. Yeah. Okay. So when I would hear her say damn, I would turn my radio down. I would like self-censor the music to be like, oh no, nobody can hear me listen to this naughty, naughty music.
And look at you now, you 30% slut.
I know, my 30. No, I'm really trying to up those numbers. I got my belly button pierced when I was 14, but I recently put it back in because I'm like, I feel like I want to come back into my slutty era. So
actually, Maddie, we keep calling you 30%, but I actually think it's only
like 24. Yeah. but
yeah, you're 24% slut. Don't give yourself extra points.
You're
right.
You're right. But I'm looking to up those numbers. We'll see. You're introducing me to new sex toys. Who knows what's on the horizon?
I mean, maybe Mike. Maybe I could send him a link to the dragon.
He would love it because I would be afraid to see his porn search history. Who knows?
I would be afraid for anyone to see mine.
Yeah.
I mean, but you just have to open my tabs. I don't close mine.
Yeah. You don't go incognito?
No. Well, I do. I just don't close the tabs.
Oh, okay. Yeah. In case you need to go back if you find like a good video or something. Do you have a Pornhub account? Like, do you save videos that you like?
Mm-hmm. And I playlists.
Yeah. That's smart.
I know, but it always logs me out. It's really annoying.
Yeah, that is annoying. I used to love Tumblr because I had like the GIFs.
Yeah, Tumblr.
Because I could create my own story with the GIFs, but now they banned it all. So.
Well, yeah, I know. They had beautiful not safe for work community on Tumblr, and they banned it all. That's similar around the time of Craigslist too, which we'll have to talk more about later because that's a whole thing. Okay.
But while we're feeling kinky.
Yeah. So there is like the huge sex community in Colorado.
Wild West.
Yes, the Wild West. So many communities and groups and places you can go for sexy, kinky times. One of my favorites is the Scarlet Ranch. It is a beautiful place. It's a community, but they also have a building with like a pool and cabanas.
Where is it?
It's in Littleton, so it's off of E470 and Santa Fe.
Nice.
And so you can go. They have events all the time. They're open, I think, 4 or 5 days a week. It's the nation's largest swinger club. So they have 2,000 weekly members that go through there, and then they have 50,000 active members. So it's huge.
That's huge.
They have events all the time, but the one I thought was most interesting coming up, so it's sexy heroes and characters.
Ooh, fun. Little cosplay.
Yeah. Is your favorite hero or villain outfit too scandalous for the official convention? Never fear. At Scarlet Ranch, you're free to wear that skimpy bodysuit or short cape.
Love it. That's so
maybe honestly, just wear a cape.
Yeah. Nothing else.
So you can do like full nudity. They have sex there. We're gonna have to do
sexy
a whole
costume party.
Yeah, it's a sexy costume party where you can also have sex there.
So do they always have different themes?
So they kind of have consistent themes throughout the time. So like on Sundays they always have like a brunch theme. Thursdays are ladies nights, so you get in, any single lady gets in for free.
Nice.
The pricing changes day to day, but for Saturdays the pricing for couples is $100, single females is $20, and I'm sorry, you single men, it is $300.
Oh my God. 20 for single women, 300 for single men.
Yeah, and Thursdays is free for single women.
But that's fun. Yeah, it's
super fun.
Yeah, that's fun.
I don't know. I think maybe Maddie and I might have to go to check it out.
Purely journalism. It's
purely journalism. Yeah. We're professional hosts now. We already said that.
Yeah, professional hosts. We got to do our research.
Yeah, I mean, it's a work trip.
Yeah. I love it. That's so fun.
Well, I love chatting with you again today. Episode 2. We got it done. We're so excited to bring you some more interviews in the future, some more fun content.
Some more sexy history.
Yeah.
I know you guys are so wet for that.
Some more fun facts. And lots more kinky sex toys.
Yes. And
I already know which one I'm choosing for you next time.
Oh my God.
You're not going to guess what it is.
I could never guess. These are so...
I mean, there's so many.
Yeah. But you're expanding my horizons, learning new things every day.
Teaching, you just got to teach your little sister about those sex toys.
Yeah. That's what older sisters are for, is to really just, show you things that you can never get out of your mind again. And we want to hear your stories. So please, mhdpod.com. Submit your stories, your questions, your tips, whatever you have.
Literally anything.
Yeah. We're here to talk. We're just here to talk shit and talk about sex. So we love it.
Well, I love you, sis.
Love you too.
And thanks for getting kinky with us, guys.
Until next time.
Until next time.